So something that was on the information that was provided to me about you was this idea of you working with Ray Dalio's family office. So how did that start? And I understand you've been helping his son with buying businesses. How did Ray Dalio call you up, or were you approached by the family office? How did that relationship start?
Relationship started many years ago. Actually, in 2007, I got a call from a gentleman by the name of Ray Dalio. I had no idea who he was. And he told me at the time that his son was living in Florida and they were looking to hire someone to mentor him to teach him how to buy businesses. And would I be interested? And he got my name referred to him and thought that was very nice. And at that particular point, my youngest son, I have four kids. My youngest son was just diagnosed with epilepsy. And I was thinking about taking off a few months to learn about the disease because I had no knowledge about it. And I expressed this to Ray and I said, I'm taking off a few months. And so I really can't do it. And he was very kind. And again, I had no idea who the guy was. To me, it was
Right.
Ray Dalio, could have been Shmei Palio. I had no idea who this guy was. And he said, look, I have a lot of good connections in the healthcare field. If I can help you with anything, I'm happy to put you in touch with doctors, neurologists, psychologists, etc. Just let me know.
Mm.
It was like irrespective of whether or not you take on the consulting work. And I was really blown away by that because it was just such an incredibly kind gesture. And I said, oh, I'll meet with your son regardless. And I met with his son, Devin, and I thought the guy was unbelievable. He was 29 at the time. I really liked him. He was smart. He was curious. He was really sincere and really enjoyed him. And I said to him, I'll take on the consulting work. And the goal was, and at that point he was studying my course and we met once a week for a couple of hours. And then we started looking at businesses and about 6 months went by. And then their family offices was just opening up at the point. They had three people and it made sense for the family, for Devin to go back to go work for the family office because they were just starting to build. Now, keep in mind, Devin and I worked together for 6, 7 months. I had no idea who Ray Dalio was. There was
Okay.
only one point at about months in, he mentioned something to me about offhanded because he was the most down-to-earth, humble guy you could possibly imagine. And he mentioned something, and I said, it triggered, I think this family has a lot of money. And somehow I looked it up online and said it was like, holy smokes, the guy was worth like $10
Biggest
billion.
hedge fund, yeah, biggest
Yeah, and this
hedge
guy was
fund.
worth like $10 billion at the time. Subsequently, Devin went back. We always stayed in touch and we had a nice relationship. And he worked at the family office and he grew and evolved to become the co-CEO of the family office. It grew from 3 to 25, from up to 100 and plus people. And then he decided to leave and get into something entrepreneurial. And Ray and Devin approached me again because he had never bought any businesses. And they approached me with this idea of coming in and forming an investment company with me as a partner and Devin as a partner. And I was going to mentor Devin again at a higher level of buying businesses on a full-time basis. And we came to an agreement. The agreement took 3 seconds. It really was. It was I should say 3 seconds, it was 30 seconds. Okay. And I'm not exaggerating. To come to an agreement. And I went to work full-time as a partner. We had a company called P Squared. It was Devin and I. And Devin and I were close like brothers. Ray was our only investor. He was terrific as far as investment committee. We made a number of investments and we were running our business. And then unfortunately on December 17th, 2020, Devin was killed in a car accident.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
at 42 years old. And of course you can imagine the devastation for their
of
family.
course.
And Devin and I, as I mentioned, we besides business partners, we shared an office. We had a number of offices, but we worked right across from each other. It's close as two people could possibly be, like brothers. And then we decided that the business was stood up for Devin, so we wound down. We didn't need the business anymore. We kept our investments. And of course the family and I view them as extended family. They're incredible people. And so that's how I met. Unfortunately, it was a very sad ending
Yes.
to that, but we met in a really interesting way. We had an unbelievable relationship. It was the mentoring part evolved to really a brotherhood, and that was really nice because I never really viewed Devin as a mentee. He was always a partner to me because we were partners with Ray, and Devin was an unbelievable human being, the smartest, nicest guy I ever met. There's people I've met as smart, people I've met as nice, but a combination of two. I never met anybody smarter and nicer. And I have a beautiful relationship with the family, and I consider them, and we consider each other extended family to one another. And it was a great learning experience for me,
Mm.
having the exposure to the family office, even though we operated independently. There was unbelievable learning through my 3.5, 4 years that we were together.